Let me ask you a question. When someone asks, what do you do? Most people answer with their job, but that's not the same as answering who you are. Today, we're going to talk about the difference between who you are and what you do for a living. Sometimes we spend years defining ourselves by work instead of our identity.
Yeah. Yeah. Hit play when your day feel heavy. Learn how to live strong. Think steady. Fit insanity. Mindset and muscle. Real talk. Real tips, real hustle. Fit insanity, lock it in, don't scroll. Tap, follow on the show, feed your body and your soul. Fit insanity, every week, let it run. Easy men, tell a friend, that's the one, that's the one. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. That's the one. That's the one, that's the one, yeah.
Welcome back to another episode of Fit Insanity. What's up, everybody? I'm Tater Great, and I got my co-host here with me.
Yo, what up, folks? It's your boy Jay Wolf Fitness. What's up?
And today we got a special guest. We got Sheri with us. She's a trainer, an incredible weight loss transformation, and she has a powerful journey that you guys are going to love to hear about. Sheri, you want to introduce yourself to her?
Hey y'all, I'm Sheri. I want to say thanks for having me here. So I'm very excited. A lot of people see me as the trainer, but there's a lot more to the story, and I'm excited to share my journey with y'all.
That's good. We're happy to have you, Sheri. It's nice to have some. I know you guys are used to these deep voices on here. It's nice to have a soft voice on here for a change. So today we're going to talk about who you are versus what you do. There's a difference. I think most people identify with who they are with their job. They often tie it to their career. If you talk to somebody, you're going to ask them, hey, what do you do? Or what do you do? Most of the time we do ask that question, what do you do? And then you just tie it to a person identity. If we say we're trainers, that's all people are going to see us as, right? They don't see who you are when you go home. They don't see the mother. They don't see the son. They don't see the father. They don't see, you know what I mean? So it's crazy because you got titles. How you guys feel about that?
What do you think, Sheri?
I think society does do a lot of identifying us by our titles.
Mm-hmm.
The higher your title is, the more important you are. So a lot of people have to remember that it's not the title that does identify us. It's way more than that. It's bigger than that. It's who you are. What do you bring to that title?
I agree.
So it's not the title itself. It's who you are. The personality, the everything behind that people don't stop and think about.
Mm-hmm.
And so we have to stop identifying ourselves by the title and more so what we bring to the title.
That's good.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I mean, you gotta look at it too. It's like, I guess also they like when people say personal training, like, oh, well, you a personal therapist? So for the gym, yeah. But and again, like I said, and she made a great point. I feel like it's like your title shouldn't define who you are because you should already know who you are at the end of the day.
Right. Exactly. That your character is that's who you are, right? It's about your mindset, not your job title. Your job is what you do. Your character is who you are. I think there's a big difference, right? And speaking of big difference, because our guest today, you know what I love is like at some point in life, and I've done it too, where you go and so for me, I don't talk about my personals too much, but at some point I was in law enforcement, and that's what I was defined as at the time. And now it's a completely different thing. So we have someone here today. We're going to let Sheri do her thing, and she's going to tell us about her journey. Sheri, when did you realize you wanted to change your life?
So in 2017, I had given birth to my youngest son, King, and after that, I went through some postpartum.
Okay.
And it was really hard for me. I was also working in CPS at the time. I was an investigator, and that required a lot from me. It required me not to be at home. It took time from me being able to be a mother to my newborn and to my older kids. I was always on the go. I worked in Dallas County, so I worked the worst of the worst. I worked severe physical abuse, neglect, medical neglect, sexual abuse, and child death cases.
Oh.
And so
Oh.
mentally, that took a toll on me because it was the worst of the worst. And so I turned to my comforts, which was food. Anytime I was there, it was always like, hey, are y'all hungry? Let's eat. Or, hey, I'm on the go. I'm stopping by Whataburger. Let me just scarf my food down while I'm on my way to my next case.
Right.
Because there was no time. And over time, between like the separation anxiety from, my kids, overloaded, overworked, it was the only thing I had was food. And so I imagine being 4'11" and weighing 240 pounds. And that was a reality for me. I had never been that big in my life.
Right.
And I had started thinking to myself, I don't have time for anything else, so I'm just going to be satisfied with where I am. I'm just going to be big. And then 2018, we were in Arkansas for a funeral, and all the family got together and took a picture. And I had a dress on, and I'll never forget. I looked like I was 6 months pregnant. And it was posted all over social media. Everybody was commenting and liking, but I knew they weren't commenting and liking because of me. But when I saw that picture, it was so embarrassing. Here I am, I'm 4'11", I look 6 months pregnant, I'm 250 pounds. Like, I felt disgusted when I saw that picture in reality. It got to the point to where I couldn't bend over, I couldn't tie my shoes, I couldn't, I couldn't breathe, I couldn't walk upstairs. And not to be funny, but imagine being 4'11" with short arms and trying to reach around and try to wipe yourself. Like, and for me, that was really, really hard.
That's real, though.
And also, my 16-year-old, she has a heart transplant. So then it started going through my mind, like, if I don't take care of myself, and the way I'm scarfing this double meat Whataburger with bacon and extra mayo and cheese with the large fry and the large Dr. Pepper, the way I'm scarfing this and still feeling hungry because my mind and my stomach aren't connecting because I'm eating so fast, like, what if I end up having, like, a heart attack or something because I have all these clogged arteries and stuff? Who's going to be able to take care of her? Because I'm her sole provider. So at that point, all of those things, all of those factors made me realize I need to fix my mental health and get out of this depression mode. And I need to get into the gym, and I need to take care of the temple that I was blessed with from God and do what I'm supposed to do. And that was my turning point for me when I started my journey in 2019.
I like that.
So, like, if you can answer me this or answer us this, I'm pretty sure the people want to know. So, what was your hardest battle with your transformation?
Being embarrassed. So, and not knowing what to do. So, what I mean by that is I was losing weight, but I was embarrassed to go to the gym. So I was, at that time, I was going to Planet Fitness, and of course, they're open 24 hours. So what I would do is I would wait until like 11, 12 o'clock at night to go to the gym. And then I would go spend hours in the gym. Mind you, I've been working all day. I have to get up and get the kids ready for school. So imagine getting up at 5, 6, 7 o'clock, going all day, then going to the gym at midnight, being there for about 2 hours. How much sleep am I really getting? How high is my cortisol? What am I, what am I really doing? So my first go round in my transformation, I did a whole lot of cardio. I was in there lifting weights, but I didn't know what I was doing. I was following the Instagram workouts. Like, I was doing stuff that I thought was going to work.
Right.
It worked. It got the weight off. But did it, was I able to really do the body recomposition that I wanted? No. Because if you look at my pictures this go round versus the last time, I'm the same weight that I was, but I'm starting to see real definition. There's a shape, unlike the last time. Like, I used to swear I was in there pulling rows and had no clue how to engage my scapula in my back to make sure I was hitting my lats the way I was supposed to. I was just in there pulling, really thinking I was doing something, but I didn't. But I didn't know. And so a lot of it was, I thought I was doing something, but I didn't take the time to get to know what I needed to know to truly build and define that muscle as I needed to. And so I did that for a while. COVID hit, so then I just started running because you couldn't go to the gym. So I just started running. So then it was all kind of like loose skin. It wasn't toned and defined, and it wasn't really what I wanted. And so after COVID, work, life, I ended up falling back into a depression. I was going through some things, dealing with my mom's death, dealing with my daughter being sick, just dealing with life as overall. And Whataburger became my favorite meal again. And I got back up to 200 pounds. So I had went from like 240 to 150, and then I slowly crept back up and got back up to 200. And I went to the doctor, and I was having so many issues. My upper, my neck was hurting, my back was hurting. I would wake up, the bottom of my feet just hurt so bad. I hated getting out of the bed because the pain at the bottom of my feet was unbearable. I have sciatica. That was getting worse. We were doing MRIs trying to see what was going on, and there was nothing going on outside of what we really kind of attribute to is like my cortisol being high. And every time I went, the inflammation in my body was always really high. And it had gotten so bad that we started testing for multiple myeloma, which is a bone marrow cancer that my mom was diagnosed with, in which I lost her to. And so we even went as far as to start testing for that because we couldn't figure out why my bones were aching. Why was I hurting so bad? If there was nothing on the MRIs and CT scans. But what it boiled down to is I was back unhealthy again. I was eating bad. I wasn't sleeping. I was having real bad insomnia. I would sleep for about 30 minutes. I would wake back up. My anxiety was high. And it just got really, really hard for me. And so last year in April, I was working for the juvenile department for Dallas County as a probation officer. And I left my position, and I was sitting at home one day, and I was eating my go-to when I get stressed. And I was like, I'm not doing this again. I'm not going back. At that time, I had lost about 15 pounds from when I had went to the doctor. So I was about 170 something. It was like, I'm not going back to that. And so that's when I made the decision to join Crunch as a member. And that's when things changed for me. And it no longer was something to do. It became my life. It saved me in ways that people could never even imagine. And I have been on this journey since April 29th. I started at 173. I'm down to 150. I have lost about 10% body fat. I've gained a lot of muscle. And it's just a way of life for me now.
I respect that. I like it. Because, you know, the cool part about your story is, like, you had to transform in your mind before you transform in your body. You could only see yourself one way. You only had one answer for stress. You didn't have another answer. Now you have tools. You got different answers. I like that. I like that. That's a powerful story, and I'm really sure a lot of people can relate, especially women. These are things that that doesn't get talked about enough. Like, how many times have we all had clients and we were just like, okay, you're not doing something right. We know. We know what's going on.
Right.
But the person's not going to tell us. They ate Whataburger or McDonald's or something like that, or they like eating candy when they go home, or cookies. They're not going to tell us that.
Some of my clients are actually open about that. I'm just like, why would you tell me that? All right, it was going to be an extra 15 cents.
But that's fair, though. I would rather know.
Right.
I'd rather know. Because how are we going to help if we don't really know?
That's true.
You see what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm saying. So, yeah, good stuff, Sheri. All right.
Great story.
Yeah. We definitely respect you for telling it, and know it took courage. So let's talk about finding yourself during the change. All right, when people start transforming their life, they often ask, who am I becoming? Jordan, can you speak to that? Did you ever have that moment when you first got into bodybuilding and lifting and just any general part of life?
Man, to be honest, like when I first started lifting, it's like, you know, I didn't even see the point of it. You know what I mean? Like, okay, just lifting weights for what? You know, and then like I said, if you start, you start reading and start doing your research, and you start realizing, like, okay, your body's made up of muscle. Why not work out? Why not see it? And like I said, my first trainer, when we were going through it, he was pushing me so hard, and I'm like, dude, I don't really want to do this. But then after seeing the results after those 2 weeks, I was like, this looks pretty good.
Right.
You know what I mean? So at that point, I just kept going on with it. And, you know, here I am, literally 14 years of doing this. It has been a complete trial and error. So if anything, man, I just see it as a discipline type of action for me.
Right.
I love it. It's a powerful sport. I mean, like I said, if you look into the guests that we brought, you know, we all have one thing in common, which is fitness, but also changing the mindset.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's what Fit and Sanity is really about. It's not just fitness, like, as much as fit is the title, and we all are fit, but I think the sanity part is the most important part.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, most
right?
definitely.
Absolutely.
You can't get up in the morning if you know what I mean? What about you, Sheri? Did you ever ask yourself that? Even so, you go from your transition when you were overweight, and at some point you had to be smaller and you gained weight, right? So you got that, and then you had the part where you're finally lifting weights, and you had to think, like, who am I becoming right now?
Right.
Not what. Who.
But who?
Who. That's what I want the whole concept to to get across. And not what, but who.
In my journey, I had always, focused on everything else for everyone else, right? And so my journey has given me the opportunity to find myself, like who I want to be.
Mm-hmm.
I don't just want to be identified as my kid's mom or, like you said, the personal trainer.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be identified as someone who saw the issue and made a change to no longer be the issue, but to be the resolution.
I like that.
I wanted to be my own resolution.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to find the power within myself to believe in myself that I could do it.
Mm-hmm.
And so in doing that, I finally felt like I can do what I put my mind to.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't need any outside factors to push me to do this. Like, I'm doing this for me.
Right.
So in this, like, I have found that I am very powerful and my mind itself is very powerful and I can do whatever I believe I can do. And in that, I have become a woman who actually believes in myself.
I love that. That's that whole thing where fitness becomes a tool to discover who you are. I think we've all got there, you know, and we're still using it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we still use it. I go back and forth with myself sometimes too. It's like, I do a lot, so I can't say I'm one thing or another. I just try to be a good person at the end of the day.
Right.
Just try to be a good person, a good man, and have some sense of values and morals at some point, right?
And then honestly too, like, you know, I know me and you've talked about, you know, being competitors, you know, in this competition, because
Oh yeah,
I know one of the other personal trainers told me, you know, I'm pretty sure he's already told you as well, is like, you will really find out who you are at the end of the day when you have to really push to those grueling sets,
yeah,
where you're literally sitting there, you're thinking to yourself, okay, I got another, you know, you were made through one set, now you got 3 more of these, and you're thinking, this is bull crap. You know what I mean? And there are certain days, man, I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. It's like, you know, going through those back days, because I'm trying to work on my back. I have really found out more so, like, I can really push myself a little bit further and believe in, like Sheri said, believe in yourself that you can do it. And we oftentimes have to realize that when we're in there in the gym, don't do it for anybody else. You do it for yourself.
right.
Because at the end of the day, you know, when you're literally on stage, everyone's looking at you. You can't see the crowd. You're the one that's projecting that work that you put in. You know what I mean? So obviously, man, I just love fitness, dog.
But that, I think that goes for every aspect of life. Like, you have to come to a point to where you put your mind to anything and you have to believe in yourself, period. Like, it doesn't just have to deal with the gym. It has to do in every aspect of life. It comes with your relationships, your friendships, your relationships with your kids. Like, in general, like, your relationships at work, you have to know who you are in order to bring what you have to the table, to give the best offerings to people around you, to not only better yourself but better everyone that you deal with, right? And so that is the point of knowing who you are, so you can bring that to the table, let everybody see that, and continue to give that out into the world, so therefore people can learn that from you and take that and continue to pass that on, right? Because we want to show people who we are, but so they can take a piece of that and continue to pass good into the world.
I agree. Okay, so we're gonna move on to a mini game, y'all. All right, so the mini game. Who are you really, right? Each person's gonna answer, okay? I am someone who values peace. I value peace.
I value resiliency.
That part.
Yeah.
Like resiliency, but I also value honesty.
Okay. All right. So I am someone who I refuse to give up. I refuse to quit. So.
Is it one of our slogans at the gym? Resistance is futile.
Right.
I believe that's one of them on the gym. But anyway. Yeah.
What about you?
I refuse to give up.
All right. I am someone who is learning to I'm someone who's learning to listen and listen and really listen to others, and you know what I mean. That's yeah.
I think for me is learning to compromise.
Yeah.
Again, I know we had Bernard last time. He was like space racism about being like a Taurus. And I was like, but we can't be stubborn. But I've learned to compromise with certain things. If we can come to an agreement, that's fine by me. You know what I mean? I don't want to fight about it.
Good.
I am someone who is learning to be patient and give myself grace and not be so hard on myself.
Love that. I love that. So I am someone who wants to become rich. No, I'm just
I agree. Yeah. We're all
no,
right there.
but I think I'm someone who just wants to, I don't know, I want to look back at everything I've done and just feel, I wouldn't say complacent, but I want to look back and I want to become satisfied with my work and be like, okay, Harold, this is who you are. You did a good job, and see the people around me that are growing because I've decided to help. That I find pleasure in that.
Not just satisfied, but be proud of your work.
Yeah.
Not just satisfied with it, because satisfied is kind of like mediocre. Like, you need to be proud of your work.
You're right. What about you, Jordan?
I think I'm someone that one day wants to be a hero for his son.
Oh yeah, I love that.
I was like, again, I'm not trying to go off, not trying to skew off. I know he's not here with me, but at least I want him to know, like, hey, my dad is really out here grinding hard for what he wants.
Mm-hmm.
Just someone he can be proud of.
Love that. What about you, Sheri?
I want to become a powerhouse. Like, I want to be a force to be reckoned with. Like, I want to become
Star Wars.
I want to become just powerful within myself. Like, I just want to feel and know no doubts when it comes to the things that I do, and know that there's so much meaning behind it, but know that what I bring to the table, like, for me, like, that it's meaningful to myself, but it's also meaningful to others. So that's what I mean by becoming a powerhouse and a force to be reckoned with.
All right, cool. So we're going to start from the back. Sheri, pause. We're going to start from the back. Sheri, we're going to start.
I'm not saying anything. I'm going to sip my ghost.
All right, we're going to give advice for people finding themselves. Let's make it, all right, something they can remember. We always like to give a nice little statement of the day or advice. Give us your statement, Sheri.
Don't rush your transformation. It takes time. Be patient. Give yourself grace. We all sometimes slip and fall, but pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and keep going.
There you go. Jay?
Stay consistent with who you are, not for what you do, and just keep progressing every single day.
All right, I love that. And I don't know, for me, I think it's like, be the person that you want to see. Like, we all see other people, and I think life is a mirror, and other people reflect who we are. So be the person, like, be the person that you want to see. Be the change that you want to see in the world, right? Definitely make sure you separate your identity from your career, because just because your career hasn't taken off don't mean you haven't taken off. So, yeah. The goal isn't just to change your body, it's to discover who you are. All right, so we're going to do one for the one time. Let's do a joke, man. Let's do a joke. Jordan, you want to do it? You got to.
I got one. Come on.
All
right. So, what did the elevator say when it stopped?
Bing.
Nothing.
Bing.
Nothing. It just stares.
I love that.
Bing. bing, 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 bing. Nah.
I love that. All right, Jerry, y'all got any more? We good?
So why do trainers ask so many questions?
I don't know why.
Because they're always trying to find your core.
All right. Good. So we had two. So I'm gonna let y'all handle it because I'm done. I can't top any of that.
Okay,
right.
I got one last one.
Let's go.
All right, here it goes. If someone slaps you at a high frequency, you know it hurts.
Oh my God.
Oh,
Okay.
God.
All right. That was dope. That was good. That was perfect. All right. So again, listen, people, your career might change. Your goals, everything can change about you, but who you are will never change. And I think we should stay focused on that. Focus on who you are, not what you are. Until next time, stay fit, stay focused, stay sane.
Yeah, we crush it today. Now it's time for the flex. Mind heavy, heart steady. We demand and respect. Fit insanity, the code. We don't break, we don't bend. Every setback is setup. Every loss is a win. Keep the pressure on your goals. Let it sharpen your aim. Hustle hard, move smart. Stay ahead of the